There we go. That was a quick countdown. Thank you. Okay. Welcome to this information session for the HEAL program online cohort that we run from UBC. It's wonderful to see so many people interested in attending for today, and I hope that we're able to answer all of your questions and excite you enough that you're actually able to move forward to put in an application. Linda and I will go through, we'll introduce ourselves a little bit more, but also take you through some areas with the intent that we actually have some time for you to ask questions later on. So my name is Kerry Renwick, and I coordinate the Home Economics program here at UBC in the Department of Curriculum and Pedagogy, and the Human Ecology and Everyday Living cohort of the Master's program is also part of the area that I manage, and we're 8 years running strong with over 90 graduates plus some more that are actually moving through at the moment, and we think it's a great program, so it's lovely to see you all here. Linda, should I perhaps now go on to recognition of land, if you're happy to move to the next slide? UBC is located on the traditional and ancestral territory of the Musqueam people, and we're incredibly privileged that they allow us to do our work on their lands, and with some input into the programs that we're doing, and it's something that we're making effort to include more of, because it's important knowledges that we need to be aware of and working through as well. And on this slide you can see some additional information if you're actually interested in pursuing. Many of you are coming from different spaces and colonised areas. Not all of you, I know, but many of you are. And so if you can give a silent acknowledgement of the First Nation peoples of where you are, that would be very much appreciated. Thank you. Linda. Okay, I think I've introduced me. So how about you give yourself some time too?
Of course. Well, my name is Linda Haftner, and it's such a pleasure to see so many interested applicants for this wonderful program. So I work for a unit called Professional Development and Community Engagement, and we are a service unit to all of the departments in education, such as Kerry's Department of Curriculum and Pedagogy. So my role, it is to assist all of the cohort students who will be part of this program from the time that you apply until you graduate. So I will be the person who supports you throughout your whole program. And if you ask Kerry, you know, UBC has so much bureaucracy, it's really very difficult to find information sometimes. So you don't have to do that. You just have, you know, a very strong support. Kerry will be supporting you academically of all the courses that you do require, and I will support you in an administrative nature. So anything to do with registering you into your required courses and leaves or anything else, any questions that you have, I will be very happy to help you with those. And we'll move forward then. Okay.
The other person that I just quickly wanted to introduce that's here with us today is Heather Clark. Heather Clark is an instructor within the Home Economics program, but she's also an alumni of the HEAL program. And while there are many things that Linda and I might want to sell to you about how wonderful the program is, I'm sure you're also very interested as what is it like from the student perspective. So I'd like to welcome Heather and say thank you very much for coming along, and you can provide the insights that Linda and I are not able to, I'm sure, and hopefully people won't ask you too many tricky questions, but feel free to answer as honestly and as openly as you need to about the experience in the HEAL program. The HEAL program is hosted by the Curriculum and Pedagogy Department at UBC, and our department head is Dr. Samson Nashon, who has been a long-time supporter of Home Economics Educator. He's a great support for us, and as a result, he makes sure that the best is done for what we can through this program. UBC is actually the only university in BC that prepares teachers for home economics education, and that includes both undergraduate and postgraduate programs. That's an exciting it's an exciting proposition, but it's also a challenge in that we do not have enough home economics teachers in the province. And I suspect that echoes with many of you within your own home provinces if you're outside BC. Graduates from our program go in many different ways. Many of them take on leadership roles within their schools, and which means that often means them leaving the home economics classroom, which adds to some of the drift that we actually get in the vacancies that we have. But it also means that we've got champions for the home economics area in leadership roles in schools, which is also an exciting prospect as well. We also have people that are involved with policy development, curriculum officers in various ministries of education, and we've actually got people who currently are working in the Caribbean in those roles. So not only are we picking up graduates from across Canada, but also we're actually reaching internationally, which is also very, very exciting as well. Okay, Linda, where are we? Oh, the program itself. Okay, so let's take you through a little bit about it. Our first intake was in 2011 with an initial 21 students, and we've got a further 81 students from across Canada internationally, as I've suggested, and we are interested in bringing in people who want to develop their professional understandings around the areas or the fields of study of home economics, human ecology, family studies, consumer studies, the wide area that actually home economics that I use as an umbrella term picks up on. You'll have to forgive me, as a non-Canadian Australian back home, it's called home economics, but if you can think about it as an umbrella term, an encompassing term for many areas of study, then if you can be generous in that sense, that would be wonderful. The program itself consists of 30 credits, of which we have 8 core courses of 3 credits each, which are fully offered online. And then we ask you to undertake 2 extra electives of 3 credits each, or equivalent of 6 credits, that can either be online or face-to-face or even blended. There are many courses that we offer through the diploma at 300 and 400 level that you're able to undertake, but we also, through the Western Deans Agreement, enable you to access other universities that may offer up courses that may be of interest to you. The key idea with it is what extends your understanding, your content knowledge and your appreciation for the area. And that's what's really critical in deciding whether or not something's appropriate to fit within the program. Not just the program, but also your interests as well. If you haven't already picked up on it already, St. Valentine's Day at this stage is our closing date for application. So hopefully you'll keep that in mind and remember. It's usually the end of the business day, and it gives Linda and I an opportunity on the 15th to get together and say, look at all the wonderful applications that we've got. So we're looking forward to that. And you have a URL there that gives you information for the website. But we're hoping that if you've already registered, you already know about it, and you've already had a bit of a look through to see what's on the go there. This is the structure and the order in which we offer the courses. We only take in 1 cohort at a time, and so we actually take you through step by step through each course. And this is the order that, whoops, this is the wrong order, Linda, sorry. Anyway,
sorry.
Please don't apologise, it's okay, it's one of those things that happen. So
let me just
bear with us. We have it in a slightly different order. What we try and do is start you off with building an understanding about home economics education. So what you have as term number 4 is Foundations of Home Economics Education is in fact number 1. Introduction to Curriculum Issues and Theories is not 5 but number 2, and Curriculum and Pedagogy in Home Economics Education is not 6 but it's 3. Then number 1 becomes term 4, number 2 becomes term 5, and number 3 becomes term 6.
I think that the correct order, it is in the website, right?
It's correct on the website.
Yes.
I actually forgot to mention it to Linda that we needed to do this, so please accept my apologies. But if you look at the titles of the course, what we're wanting to do is to build and extend some deeper understandings about home economics and curriculum at the opening year 1 type courses. And then as you move into year 2, we are starting to build your capacity and thinking around moving towards what your graduating project is, what your research project will be about. And so that's why research methods, for instance, is offered in year 2, so that you then are building towards doing your graduating paper. Can I say a number of my colleagues here who are overseeing many of the things that the graduating papers look like a graduate advisor, are often surprised, don't know why they should be, but very impressed about the graduating projects that come from the HEAL cohort. And while it looks like you've got 3 credits and 1 term to do your graduating project, you actually don't. You actually have more. So that if you go back to term 7, you can see there's a master seminar, and that sets you up for the final writing up of your graduating project. So in fact, you've got 6 credits that are there. And then if you move back to the review of research in curriculum and pedagogy, which again is in the summer term before the research methods, that's also giving you an opportunity to scope different approaches to research under the umbrella of home economics. So there you have 9 credits. It's actually, if you think about it, dedicated to you developing your graduating paper, which is about the same that many people do if they're actually doing a thesis. So it's little wonder that we have quality product that comes out at the end, because there's so much support and dedication to you being able to provide opportunity to write up a graduating paper that's quite stellar in the end. So again, I'll reinforce, on the website we have the correct order of the way in which the courses are offered, with apologies for this one not being in quite the right order, but we'll address it for further ones, Linda. Just note to you and I to have to do that one. Okay.
Absolutely.
Now, you will notice that that is all your core courses. When you do your electives is up to you. And so you may take electives from 300 or 400 level, or you can take them at 500 level as well. And again, you can do it through on-campus courses, you can do it online, or we also offer summer institutes as well. So that might be something, if you and your family are going to get packed up and come to visit Vancouver for the summer holidays, then in fact you could probably spend a week intensive here while the family are going out and about enjoying yourself, and you can do an intensive study for 1 week and have one of your electives done during that time as well. The sorts of areas that we encourage you to consider, you might want to extend more of your studies into curriculum so that you're going into deeper and getting a better understanding of that. You might want to build up, if textiles isn't a strong area that you've got, you might want to do something around textiles. The same applies for food and family, that they may be 3 core areas of home economics that you'd like to spend a little bit more time with. We are developing courses that fit into the notion idea about family and sustainability. And with certainly things shifting and changing and a greater awareness about impact that people are having and what it means for climate change, we're currently developing courses that address the notion and idea about what are the sorts of responses that people in context of family and their local community can do around sustainability, and therefore have some local impact that might be working towards ameliorating global warming. So it is something we're thinking about from there. A popular one with HEAL students is agriculture in the classroom. And while the last 2 years it's been offered online, with many people saying, oh, I wish we could get out to farms, the good news is at the moment, COVID permitting, we're going back to face-to-face, where we actually have an instructor working with you for an intensive week where you do hands-on food with a chef, but also getting out to farms and having a look at the notion and idea about what we call in Australia paddock to plate, but I've also heard here is farm to fork. So that notion idea about food production all the way through to what does it mean when it appears on our plate. We are also building and have existing courses that can extend your understanding about Indigenous education as it fits within context of home economics. The last one that we offered was Indigenous education and textile study, and that was particularly well received. So we are trying to be attentive to many important ideas that home economics fits into very, very readily. Okay, Linda, where are we? Oh, we're on to Heather. Okay, having introduced you, how about you give us some of the drill about what it's like to be a student in the Home Economics Hill program? Over to you.
All right. Well, nice to meet you all. My name is Heather. What do I have to say about the program? I think it was fantastic. It was, I think, one of the funnest aspects of it was that I had classmates across Canada. So that then you're not just getting a perspective from BC, you're getting a national perspective, which was really interesting then to hear from classmates about how home economics works within their province, their school district, and on all of that, which was really fun. And I really enjoyed that. I was working full-time while taking the program. And with that, with the workload of managing one course while also managing my full-time workload, it was manageable. I don't feel that I personally had challenges with that. And most of all, what I did, because it's an online course, was I would sort of identify days and times in my calendar where I would then work on assignments, on readings, on postings, on all of that, which was really nice. And the way that the courses were set up, it makes it manageable so that you can sort of work a little bit ahead if you need to, if you know, for example, if it's report card season, or if there's certain sort of travel that's going to happen at a certain time, then you can sort of get ahead and then loop back and keep up with conversations with your peers. For the elective courses, I actually took agriculture in the classroom and it was fantastic. I often refer to that course as being one of the tastiest courses I have ever taken, which it was really fun. And there were students from all sorts of different programs, which again was fantastic to then gain a range of perspectives. And then the other elective that I took was again another course in person, and that was a foods focused course and a foods intensive course that was taught on the UBC campus. And that again was a fantastic course because then it meant that it was sort of an intensive course where it was taught over the course of a week or two. Was it just a week?
Yes, it was just a one. It might have felt longer, but it's just one.
It's just a week, but we had classmates who had come in from out of town for that week. And the way that Kerry and Jennifer, the instructor for the course, had set it up, it was fantastic that then some of us were doing online work and then we'd sort of switch and then come onto campus for a morning or an afternoon and do in-person sessions, which was, it was a lot of fun. And the way that those courses are set up was just to support a lot of collaboration, which was amazing and a great way to then get to know everybody else who's in that course and taking that course. I'm trying to think of other highlights to mention, but maybe I'll leave it there for now. And then if there's questions, I'm more than happy to address questions as they come up.
Thank you, Heather.
Thank you so much, Heather. Okay, so should I move in my part or should we take questions first? Or okay.
Well, I can't see any questions in the chat room at the moment. So if everyone's okay for us to get through maybe the nuts and bolts of it, and then we can get down to the interesting things of the questions that you'd like to ask. So perhaps if people are okay with that.
Okay, well, thank you so much. So this program starts in September 2022, and it is a 2.5, a little bit over that, in duration. It is fully online, and it is housed at the Department of Curriculum and Pedagogy. So to be admitted at UBC as a graduate student, you need to have completed a 4-year undergraduate degree and obtaining a 76% GPA average in all of your upper level courses, which are 300 and 400 level courses. If you have an undergraduate degree and also have a Bachelor of Education, your GPA in your first undergraduate degree, it can be 68% or a B-. And students who, for whatever reason, do not meet the graduate studies requirement of admission, you would still can be considered for admission, and that would be with a special case rationale that it would be written by Kerry and her department, and just to justify to graduate studies that how you would be successful in completing this degree, even though you had a little bit of lower grades than what it is required. You also have to meet a 2-year engagement with schools, communities, business, government, non-governmental organization, or other educational oriented environments. And so the documents that you need to complete when you do apply, you have to provide us with all of your post-secondary transcripts. So this will include transfer credits. So let's say if you have completed a degree at UBC, but you have taken some courses that they were applied to your degree in Langara, so you would not need to provide us with your UBC degree a transcript because we can access that, but you would still need to provide us with the Langara transcript. So you can upload all of your post-secondary institutions transcripts back and front as one file, as I mentioned, except for UBC transcripts. So make sure that the transcripts that you are uploading, they are official. So those are the ones that they show your degree, the degree that you received and the date that it was conferred, rather than just to have letter grades, because the Faculty of Graduate Studies will not consider those official. Once that you are being given an offer of admission, that would be based on the transcripts that you have uploaded, you would be provided with a conditional admission until you provide your official transcripts, and you will have to send them to graduate studies at that time. So right now we just need to adjudicate your grades. So for that reason, we need transcripts that they are copies of your official transcripts. Also, on your online application, you will have to provide with 3 letters of recommendations from educators, supervisors, colleagues, or clients that speak to your ability to complete a graduate degree and interest in home economics, encompassing family studies, textile, and consumer studies. So once that you are completing your online application, you will have a room for you to enter the name of your 3 referees. So you will enter all the information from your referees and the email address where they will receive e-reference form. So it is recommended that all of your referees that you enter, they have an official email address instead of like a webmail or Gmail, because the system cannot verify that those referees are authentic. So once that you have submitted your application, the system automatically will send them that form to the professional email address, and you will receive notification that it was sent. If your referees, for whatever reason, they do not have a professional email address, they can still send their letters of reference, but they will have to be mailed to our office, to my attention, and they will need to sign across the envelope sealed flap. So your referees, they will receive a form depending if you disclose that a certain referee is an academic referee, it will receive an academic form. If it is just a professional referee, it's a different question, so they will receive a different form. So your referees, they can either just respond to that form, or they can upload their own letter of reference if they prefer so, or do both. You also will need to upload a resume in a 600-word statement of intent of your home economics experience, professional goals, and the anticipated benefit and involvement in this program. And all of these documents, they are super, super important, especially if you do not have, the higher grades that that graduate studies expect you to come in, because the department, they will see your application as a whole. They're just not going to look at your grades. They're going to see your experience, why you want to join this program, what your referees say about you. So all of those things combined, that's what it will, that's what they will take in consideration. So they will be able to write a proper letter of reference or a memo on your behalf to graduate studies. And I will let you jump in, Kerry, if you want to comment a little bit about, the referees or about the statement of intent, if you want to add a little something.
That would be good, because I'm in the midst of replying to Kerry, who's asked you a question. Is it a requirement for a referee? So that's superb timing. So now I won't send out something with my usual typos. Usually the idea about your referee is that I'll say that they're arm distance. So really not immediate family members would be kind of not the best. While I know they love you and will support you through absolutely everything, they're probably not well received, unfortunately, as your best referee. So really what you want is someone who can speak to your work experience, if that's one of the things why you've asked them to engage with it, and the sorts of work you've engaged in, the way in which you engage with work, your reliability, your professionality. If it's about your capacity to undertake further study, it's not unusual for people to have lecturers that they had in their undergraduate studies. That's not unusual. That as long as they've got some sense of you being able to move from where they know you are, and that they can talk to the capacity for you to be able to engage in study at the next level up, which is from perhaps an undergraduate degree through to one that's then a graduate at a graduate standard. I hope that answers your question, Kerry. Let me know. If not, we can finish it, but I'll delete my terrible written one, and hopefully that was a bit clearer. The other thing that we're often asked about is work experience, and we don't assume that people are home economists, although there is a professional designation that does exist, but it could be that you have worked as a chef. You may be Red Seal accredited, you may be a dietitian, and so that your work may not be necessarily directly with home economics classrooms, and that's okay. We're a very eclectic professional area, and I think in many ways welcoming of many different perspectives, or at least I hope that we are. So it's important that you think about your minimum of 2 years professional experience being, it can be much broader than being a home economics teacher in a school. Okay, that's great and that's fine, but it could be in other contexts as well. But understand that the program is looking at educational contexts, and we do try and adapt it so that if you do come with a different lens, that we can accommodate that, but it is very much about an education perspective. Thank you, Linda.
Thank you so much, Kerry. That's really great information. So sometimes we do receive application from international applicants, and they will need to meet the English requirement language assessment. And if any of you have taken courses abroad as a visiting student, or that they are listed in your transcript, you will also need to provide those transcripts when you do apply. If you have any questions, because most of the applicants, for this program, they do not, have this requirements. But if you have any questions, just send me an email and I can send you more information about this. So the online application is open right now, and you can visit by going to this link, and this link here is available when you go into the PDC website. This is the Graduate Studies online application. So when you apply, we have listed very, very important information that you should read when you're submitting your application. So once that you click the online application, the system is going to ask you if you have attended courses before at UBC, if you already have a UBC student number, If not, it's going to be providing you with a new student number. So we can find you once that we know that you have attended courses there. Once that you do a program search in your online application, once that you apply, it's going to ask you for a program search. So just make sure that you do type this 3 letters and this number, HEE7, which is our internal code. This designates that this is for the home economics master program, and it is the 7th time that is being offered. So so make sure that you enter this, so the system automatically will send you to the right online application for the correct program. This program starts in September 2022. So once that you go into the online application, just upload all of the documents that you do have. If you are still missing some documents, you can upload them at a later time, so you do not have to upload them immediately. So you will just save what you have done, and you can submit your application. And if you have problems on downloading like some transcripts that you don't have at hand, just send me an email, send me the transcripts, and I can upload them on your behalf, or anything that you have any questions regarding the online application. So you, once that you submit your application, you pay for your application, and you submit all of your documents. You will notice that in your online application, you're gonna see a part-time acknowledgement form. It's a PDF form that you will need to print it and complete it, and then upload it in your online application. And this is just so students who are applying to this program, they are aware that this is a part-time program. So it is, like Kerry was mentioning, is designated for students who are working, are parents, and are able to study. As a part-time student, you will not be allowed to apply for UBC government bursaries or student loans, but you will be, you will still be able to take more courses if you need to. So this is just so you are able to work and study at the same time. So you'll need to submit that you have read and understood this part.
Now, Linda, we've got a question from Eric. Eric, it's lovely to see that you're here. Eric's asked a question that apparently for him, the deadline is, he's started an application. The deadline is starting December 1st. So are you able to clarify? The deadline is February 14. So I hope that you did apply for the correct program, because if you would put like HEE7, the system will take you to the right one. So I will have to check to see if I see your application. Would you be able to, Eric, to send me an email separately after we have completed, and I can check all of that. Chelsea's also saying it's showing for her as well, Linda. So
it's showing as what? December is showing 1st. What?
December 1st.
Oh, the application.
Sorry, Andrea, I may have done the wrong one. I didn't type in HEE7, so it could just be a practice run for the past. So I'll check tonight when I get home, and lots of time regardless. So
I will double check that, but I'm pretty sure that I put it February 14, but I will double check that. And Eric, if you can just, make sure that you send me a message. Did you already completed the online application, or you're just starting it?
Everything but the most important being the statement of intent. So yeah, I'm all good.
Oh, okay. So just send me an email just to make sure that we transfer you or do something there. I can talk to graduate studies to see if is that possible. So I can help you behind the scenes for that. So the application deadline is set at February the 14th. So that means the February 14th date is for you to submit all of your documents by that day. So after the February the 14th, you will not be able to apply. It will be closed to all of the applicants after that date. And if we do not have enough applications and Kerry wants, we can extend it the application deadline to further, just to make sure that we receive more applications. But you can apply anytime right now. You don't have to submit everything if you don't have everything. So if you don't have your referees, you can enter all that information as you go on. But just please keep in mind that we would like to receive all of your documents by February the 14th. So Kerry will be in a review committee with other faculty members who will be reviewing all of the applications that they're complete. So only the applications that they're complete will be able to be reviewed. So for that reason, I would encourage that everything is on that date. The application fee is $110 for domestic applicants and $168.25 for international applicants.
Now, just to finish off that, Chelsea, if you're also having problems with yours, because you also indicated yours is showing the 1st of December, similar to Eric's. So if it's still an issue, can you make sure you follow up with Linda?
Yes.
Mitch, how many people do we accept? The minimum number that we need to have for a go is 13, lucky 13 in this particular case. But it would be wonderful if we had a group that was sitting up towards 18 or 20. I'm not particularly interested in large groups, but I'm wanting a sufficient size group so that, in fact, there is some meaningful conversations that can go on and sharing and so forth. The pragmatics is that we also need to break even so that we can offer you a quality experience. So UBC needs a certain amount of income, cash flow, shall we say. None of us will be surprised about that. It's a reality of the world. But if we were getting somewhere between, well, 13's the minimum, but if we're moving up towards 18 or 20, I'd be a very, very happy camper. So hopefully that helps response for you, Mitch, okay?
Thank you. Thank you, Kerry. So I'll move a little bit along unless there is some more questions. So the tuition, so the whole program cost, okay. The program cost for the whole 30 credits or your whole degree is $15,752.56 for domestic applicants and $16,697.44 for international tuition. This would be payable over 8 tuition installments, and you are assessed a tuition installment every term. At UBC, each term is 4 months, so your first tuition will be due in September of 2022 when the program starts, and then from September to December, that's the 1 term, then January to April, that's the 2nd term. Then from May to August, it counts the whole summer as another term. So that's when you will receive the next one. And then it goes on September to December and so on until you complete all of your 8 installments. As Kerry was saying, you can take more courses than the courses that that you are required to take, more than the 30 credits. If you start your program before, if you want to take courses before September, you will have to pay for those separately. But if you take courses while you start the program until you complete it, you can take additional courses without having to pay additionally for those courses, because you are not paying per credit base, you're paying for your full program. So these are the current tuition fees, and the Board of Governors, they review the fees every year, every May of every year. So you can expect a 2 to 3%. It's been like about 2 or 3%. Increase every year. So in May. So that's for the for the tuition. So your first tuition in September would be like 2 or 3% higher than the $1,969.07. International students tuition is $2,087. So this is payable, by bank transfers, checks, money orders, or by credit card.
UBC accepts money in every form.
Exactly, we take everything. So anyways, besides your tuition, you also will be assessed student fees, and that's on top of your tuition. So you can factor about at the most $700 per term extra expected for your student fees, and it all depending on the term. So so students who are taking their program outside of the Vancouver metro area can apply for exemption from the UPass, or is the UBC, like the Metro Vancouver bus company. So because if you're not living here, you cannot take the transportation here, so you can opt out from that, and it is $173.40 for the 4 months, or $43.35 per month. If you have medical and dental plan, or your partner has it and you can prove that, you will be also, you can exempt from that, opt out, and that would be $264.63. And those are the two biggest fees that you have, and so since the medical and dental, it only kicks in from September to, it starts in September until August. So then in January, you don't pay for that. You will not be assessed that fee, or any other months, only in September. And so, yeah, so if you, and unfortunately, we tried to ask the university to remove the UPass fee for students who live in the Lower Mainland, but it was a referendum made by the, the students at UBC and the Alma Mater Society and TransLink, which is the transportation here in Vancouver. And in order to give all of the students a very, very low price, everybody has to be part of it, except if you live outside of the region. Okay, I'll move in. And yeah, so just I think that this is, oops, this is it. I wanted to, just if you have any questions along the way, if anything, if I forgot to mention anything in something that you have a question, you can either email me, or I can, be here to answer the questions until I answered all of your questions. So this is my contact information. And as I mentioned, I will register you in all of your required courses. So I will be blocking registration for all of the other students. So you are guaranteed to have a seat in all of your courses. You don't have to fight with other students to register into your courses. I will be here to support you if sometimes some students, they may need to take a leave, medical, personal leave. I can help you with those forms and, with all the information that may be needed. If you want to take courses through the Western Dean's Agreement, those are universities, I can help you with your forms that you need, and I will make sure that they are approved or send them for approval. So anything to do with any forms or anything to do program, not course related, but more like administrative functions, I'm here to support you throughout your whole program until you graduate. And I see that we have a few questions in the chat, so I don't know, should we?
I'm just replying to Sarah. I'm just checking my spelling. There we go. The shortest thing, yes, Sarah, the slides will be uploaded onto the website for the HEAL program, so that you can come back and refer to it. Linda and I are very, very aware there's a lot of information that we're giving you at the moment, which is why it's we try and record it so you can go back at your own leisure, skip over the bits you don't need to hear again, but move to the bits that you do. So, and if that's still not right, please do not hesitate to contact Linda and or myself.
Mm-hmm. Should I stop the recording, Kerry, so if people want to ask questions? Okay.
Okay.
Okay.